using that Flores. And as you said, these long corridors might not really help the Retiros into getting into position due to the fact that there is these longer distances that need to be traveled with little control. As Saves picks up a kill to Milan. Krzyzewka tries to contest for just a little while, but will be dropping down the hatch. And Saves seems to be aware as he is on the stairs, on the back stairs, just waiting for one to pop up. But he loses the gunfight instead.
Good take there from Krzyzewka. Knew they had to try and cause some destruction because although they were able to pull an early body out with the open hatch removal, but he's got to do it quick as Blur swings round. WTG gets the first drop. NaVi gets revenge, has the diffuser inside the site as Krzyzewka comes around the back split though. They're still trying to work out, but they seem to have a very good idea where he is and secretly has the cover. A bit of an open hold there. Yeah, and that was sort of an open door for NaVi holding it, which is Milan, but he's also under pressure from the back of Blue, so he's dancing in the middle of a very dangerous sandwich, so Pasha has to step in. But as Electric starts to get open, the drop comes down. They're able to push the body off pillar, covered in the smoke, and look for the corridor. Krzyzewka gets the double, gets dropped, and there's two back in favor for Nath. Doesn't know about the man in elbow, though, and this could come and really haunt them in a second as the swing comes through. It's Nath for a triple, but with one in elbow, one coming round on Electric in the main corridor, it's a pretty easy pickup there for Virtus Pro.
Definitely so. 58 seconds left on that clock, and NaVi needs to find an opening. There is Safe still in the master bedroom. Doki's coming up the white stairs. Should be able to pick up Milan there. Somehow didn't quite get the kill. Will, however, get him in the second attempt. But Rask coming up from the flank. Krzyzewka will be picked up as well. Now WTG is the one that needs to hold off. Shotgun will drop that diffuser for now. Rask is inside as well. Saves is the last man standing coming through the rotation. Needs to get these two kills.
Spotted by the Maestro. Cam gave the game away, and you can see the red pings. They sort of did to say, okay, whatever you wanted to try and do quickly, well, here's our response, and that is Rask slipping away. He knows he's gone underneath now. He might not know that there's still a C4 in pocket, but he knows that it's exceptionally dangerous with only 15 seconds left because he's got to try and win this first fight, which he does. Now he's got to look for the second, but he's low!
Oh, his feet!
Rask had got himself in. They had the idea where he was coming from the rotate. They know he had no other choice. Hit the pre-fire and took them out. With Shaw, they've been able to open up a body around the backside of Showers to hold the window on the split side. Pasha's pulled back and puts a fire towards the school bus, but there's the spray from the other side, and there is the cover. There's Rask, as I talked about on the back of the Showers corridor. It allows Virtus Pro to restructure. It allows Pasha to get back to this problem hold position.
They don't know anymore.
There it is, and now they think he slipped past, but Virtus Pro, they're playing this very forward aggressive game. They're making sure that all of their utility, just secretly got the pickup there, all of their utility that NaVi's struggling with is a big kind of bollard in the way, and they pull back two bodies. They find themselves with 40 seconds left, but they've still got to try and find their core through onto the site, and WTG is making sure it's not that comfortable.
And so far, it's looking pretty dark and grim here for NaVi. They don't have any drones left. They only have a impact and 2 concussions and 3 breaching charges they can use to try and go for this execute. Now, Saves will use one of those to quickly rush into the kitchen, and then instead of his gun, he will actually stun the mirror. Had no idea that he was coming from the back line, and Saves is now trying to push through, stuns the player inside as well. Goes for a breaching charge, hoping to pick up Milan. Does a lot of damage as a result, and as Blur goes for the defuse plant, it will be Saves that tries to hold it off. Krzyzewka gets the kill, however, and Saves turns it back into a 1v1, but there is no time. Krzyzewka is safe, and with that, VP will win yet another round.
Leaving it in the same way that we had it before, with 2 bodies on site, buying as much time as possible. They're trying to bait the push and the fight there and trying to see if anyone shoots towards the knife, but with the pinch coming from both sides,
what are you doing?
Court reinforcing WTG. A bit of a misnomer moment there, but Rask, he takes the hot drop, finds the first. They're well aware of his presence. He can't quite get the rotation here. Has a C4 in pocket if he really desperately wanted to try and go for something here, but shot before it hits the ground. NaVi find their second down in the launch.
Thinking about sneaking up. I don't think there has been a second flank door. No, there it is. Doki now has given away the spot. However, Rask still wins the gunfight, and that means that the entry is their way, is going their way, and now Saves is trying to hold off whilst Nave's going for that plant. 45 seconds, and a Nitro comes out. Will take him care, and that means only Doki and Blur are left now.
Well, only Blur now, and he can't hop through that window without suffering, but has the flashes to try and burn through it, has only 30 seconds. Whoa. They burn through it themselves. They're like, listen, if you're not going to come to us, we'll come to you. Virtus Pro with the 4-2 half.
As Blur took out one of the Retiros and an ADS, that is still a bit of a win because that Retiro is not going to blow up your shield.
Yeah, that's the shotguns in the sort of tight situation. One thing I think is Elbow is entirely soft. They've sort of left it as a fight that they want to have as it comes through. They don't have any more reinforcements in pocket as well, so they're just going to have to try and take this as a bit of violence. Secretly swings around with the canister to buy some time as the grenade pops by 2. There's a Rotero that's driving towards E-Box itself as they're just trying to solidify their control here and apply all of it onto the door. With only 30 seconds, they've really got to start trying to make that song sing sooner rather than later. There's a shotgun ready to pump through the first, just hits and takes care of them. Kajeka is the first off. WTG around the back stairs is quickly picked up 2 saves, knows where the last one is, sprays just over the top. They're holding behind the blue barrels, but with only 10 seconds and a lot of angry people shooting their way, this is definitely most likely going to be a NaVi round. All of them are trying to secure this final kill. He pushed Resk to his pistol, but Blur
should be spotted there as Kajeka tries to get a second RC Retiro in. However, due to the fact that there is no heart breach, they need to force themselves through the door, and as Blur is the first one to stop that from happening, it will be Pasha to fall. Now, need to hold on just a little bit longer. Milan gets a response. Doki will find one as well. It's still the disadvantage here for VP as they're trying to fight back. The flank comes in. Nave picks up one, and it's only up to Kajeka now, who's in front of the main window. That unfortunately has a Rooney laser gate in front of it, so needs to use an RCE to clear it. Otherwise, he will die through that window.
No flashes, 2 RCEs, a handful of seconds, and not much more blood. Virtus Pro, they lose their advantage, and NaVi are able to pull themselves level. Drone, and he might be the first point of contact here, and well, luckily he's found out sooner rather than later, and if he can strike as he doesn't, Milan takes that fight, is able to find Nate. That's going to be a hasty pull back onto the site here as they realize that, well, they don't have a huge amount behind that. Sure, the most important part is still in play, and that's that verticality above Kitchen. That is that role of that body above to make sure they cannot just slip in, and that's going to be where they're trying to dismantle the final hold.
Security falls and Resk puts some extra pressure into the meeting room, and as the RC Retiro will be gaining some of that information and quickly forces Secretly to fall off. It is Blur in a very important spot right now. Gets a little bit of pressure. The Yokai drone in the corner will be giving away the information that is necessary to stop any plant from happening. It's only 10 seconds left and Rask is on the corner of trying to go for a plant, but look at Doki right around the corner. He's going to stop this plant from happening. Surely, yes, he is going to go for it. Gets dropped. 3 seconds left on the clock and they're too spread out for VP to find. And that means NaVi win yet another round as Blur picks up one final kill.
Do I try and do something bold here? They're baiting for the play. Now they know where someone is. They're going to spray on the opposite side and slip away and buy some time, because the more that they can waste, that's their role. Doki is able to come up around the back stairs, though. Strikes a little bit fear and puts this pressure back on them. But in the meantime, Virtus Pro have taken the swing and secretly digs in for the double. Finds himself heftily injured. WTG is right next to a cold diffuser. They put pressure, but it's Nath around the side, and it's Doki! And you can see it on his player cam, but that was a round that they fought and clawed back. Split. The Black Eye is trying to give all the intel it can. They still have eyes on the outside to watch for a potential rotation and punishment that they might be able to do, but otherwise it's Milan who's setting himself up. He has been able to get into this position untested, and now he's pushed back by the smoke, saves the life of Blur, and it's Doki that opens it up, puts the body balance back into their favor, retakes control of Attic, and that is a very important position to be in right now as the power starts to come together. 20 seconds, and they're entirely smoked out of Trophy on the other side. They pop theirs, and Rask deep dives all the way through and goes to a slight off-plant position. They'll be well aware of this, and Kajeka is going to do everything he can. Saves, swings round. There's the C4 a little late, but it's at the party either way at 3 versus 2. But in a post-plant situation, it's just Pasha. That is all that is left, trying to protect the diffuser from Trophy. Swings onto the first, finds it, almost. Gets caught, gets the split. No! NaVi! They take the 3 points home. 7-4 is the final drive.